you ever wondered if everything falling apart in your life is more than just bad luck? What if the chaos and pain you're experiencing right now isn't a punishment, but a form of preparation? Sometimes the very things that seem to break us are actually the tools God uses to build us into something stronger. In this video, we'll explore how your current struggles might be signs that God is testing you, not abandoning you. By the end, you'll see your pain in a completely new light. Lately, you might feel like no matter how hard you try, things just keep going wrong. You pray, you trust, you do everything you believe is right, but still relationships break, finances don't improve, doors remain closed, and healing feels out of reach. The hardest part isn't even the problem itself, it's the silence. It's that feeling that God is present but not speaking, close but somehow unreachable. In this quiet, doubt begins to creep in, making you question everything. Those moments of silence, it's easy to wonder if you're being punished. Maybe you think you did something wrong, or perhaps you feel cursed. The silence can be deafening, making you question your faith and your worth. But what if this silence isn't a sign of God's absence, but rather a classroom where He's teaching you something profound? What if your crisis is actually a lesson in disguise, preparing you for something greater? The Bible reminds us repeatedly that God does not test those He has given up on. Instead, He tests those He has chosen for a greater purpose. This is a powerful shift in perspective. Your struggles might not be a sign of rejection but of selection. God's silence and your challenges could be the very evidence that you are being prepared for something significant. Consider Abraham, who was tested with the thing he loved most, his son Isaac. God didn't ask Abraham to give up Isaac because He wanted Isaac. Instead, God wanted Abraham to discover where his ultimate trust truly lay. This test wasn't about loss but about faith and trust. Abraham's willingness to trust God even when it made no sense became the foundation for his breakthrough. Joseph's life was marked by betrayal, false accusations, and years spent in prison. On the surface, it looked like everything was going wrong, but each trial was a step in God's plan to elevate Joseph to a position of influence and purpose. The waiting, the pain, and the confusion were all part of a bigger story that Joseph couldn't see at the time. Before David ever wore a crown, he endured seasons of rejection and wilderness. He was anointed as king, yet spent years running for his life, hiding in caves and facing constant danger. These wilderness years were not wasted, they were the training ground for David's future leadership. God was shaping his character and preparing him for the responsibilities ahead. Every person in Scripture who was used powerfully by God was first tested deeply. The test was never the end of their story. Instead, it was always the beginning of their breakthrough. Your current struggles might feel overwhelming, but they could be the very thing that leads to your greatest growth and transformation. First sign that God may be testing you is the presence of persistent challenges. These are problems that don't go away easily, no matter how hard you try. They force you to dig deeper, to rely on faith rather than your own strength. Persistent challenges are often the tools God uses to refine your character and prepare you for what's next. Second sign is experiencing silence from God. This can be one of the hardest tests. When prayers seem unanswered and God feels distant, it's easy to lose hope. But silence doesn't mean absence. Sometimes God is working behind the scenes, teaching you to trust Him even when you can't hear Him. This silence is often a test of your patience and faith. Third sign is facing unexplainable delays. You might be waiting for a breakthrough, a healing, or an opportunity that just doesn't seem to come. These delays can be frustrating, but they often serve a purpose. God uses waiting periods to develop your endurance, deepen your trust, and prepare you for the blessings ahead. God's tests are not meant to break you, but to build you. Each challenge, each moment of silence, and each delay is an opportunity for growth. These tests reveal your true character and help you discover strengths you never knew you had. They are not punishments but invitations to a deeper relationship with God. Instead of seeing your pain as a sign of failure or punishment, try to view it as preparation. Every difficult season is shaping you for something greater. The pain you feel today could be the foundation for your future strength and resilience. God is using your struggles to equip you for the next chapter of your life. Remember, you are not alone in your struggles. Every person God used in the Bible went through seasons of testing. Their stories remind us that testing is not a sign of abandonment but of preparation. You are part of a much bigger story, and your current challenges are just one chapter in that journey. Trusting God during times of testing isn't easy. It requires faith, patience, and a willingness to let go of your own understanding. But as you trust the process, you'll find that God is faithful. He is working all things together for your good, even when you can't see it yet. Every test comes with a lesson. Ask yourself what God might be teaching you through your current struggles. Is it patience, trust, humility, or perseverance? The lessons you learn in the valley will become the wisdom you carry to the mountaintop. Embrace the process and look for the growth within the struggle. It's easy to become impatient when answers don't come quickly, but God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't match our own. Trust that He knows what you need and when you need it. The waiting is not wasted, it's part of the preparation for what's to come. No test lasts forever. Breakthrough often comes right after the hardest seasons. Stay faithful and keep trusting even when it feels impossible. God is writing a story in your life that you can't fully see yet. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think. Sometimes the hardest part of being tested is not knowing what comes next, but embracing the unknown is an act of faith. Trust that God's plan is bigger and better than anything you could imagine. Even when you can't see the full page, know that He is still writing your story. Your journey, with all its ups and downs, matters deeply. Every test, every delay, and every moment of silence is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Don't lose hope. God is with you in every chapter, guiding you toward your purpose. As you move forward, remember that what feels like a crisis may actually be a classroom. God is not punishing you, He is preparing you. The pain you feel today is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of something new. Trust the process, embrace the lessons, and know that breakthrough is on the horizon.